to be part of those march protests, or whatever term that would be used. Your job is to say, as you march, nobody should interfere with you. But as you march, you don't interfere with the people that want to go to work. You don't interfere with the people that want to go to school, though I know that schools are closed. So when somebody says has managed to close the schools on Monday, will be lying, because anyway schools are closed. You don't interfere with those that they want to go to job. You don't interfere with those that they want to open their shops. Fortunately, all tax industries have said they will be operating on Monday. Those both national associations and local associations, as we've spoken to them to say they are operating, they are working. Therefore, anybody who stops those taxes, you make sure that those people don't do the thing. I want to repeat, we should be at the level of minimum or completely eradicated sort of violence and any form of people getting injured or getting hurt. But I don't have a problem if you fill prisons. But anybody that breaks the law is got accommodation, is got the new home. That's a prison. It's not your problem that prison will be full if they need to be filled them. Not police. If they don't have a space to sleep, no problem if they sleep standing. Well, they see how they wash in the morning and all that. Because the last portion of the Constitution that the Commission read says you must uphold and enforce the law. So we are not here to massage the law. We are here to enforce the law. And any and everybody that understands that gets out of the law must know what the Constitution of the country is saying. The law must be enforced and the law must be upheld. But more than any other thing, the beginning of what you read, you must prevent and combat. Work hard that you prevent and combat. This province, especially this region of police in this district, where there are 42 stations at Teweni, was hit hard by 21st. We're not saying we expect that, but for us to make sure that it doesn't happen, we must be there. And anybody that gets out of the way, anybody that gets out of the peaceful march, anybody that destroys property, anybody that begins to tramp on the rights of other people, those people are breaking the law. And the Constitution said you will enforce the law. Therefore, as we started yesterday, we are going on until the 21st, and we reassess, we take it from there. I'm glad that there is this multidisciplinary approach. I can see the other formations from other level of government. I can see that there are even the community structures. We have spoken to community structures. Many South Africans, they say anybody that threatens them is doing nonsense. Anything that is out of the normal, what the law allows, what the Constitution allows, is nonsense. And don't make sure that you don't stop anything to stop that nonsense. But when people do things within the law, make sure that themselves are protected. But protect those that they think they have the right, supreme right than other people. They must not find the way, because you'll be there. So your job is to protect the limb, protect the life, and protect the property, and make sure that everybody works within the law. You yourself, you will work within the law, but everybody else works within the law. So one thing that I'm beginning to detect, there is a lot of provocation that is taking place. Refuse. stay away from that provocation. Somebody yesterday issued the statement that their people must attack. So that's a war statement. So you can't come and cry foul to say that people are hard on you when you make the war statement. He said people must not use the phones, people must not use social media, but they must use person to person, and the last word there was to attack. Well, did not explain attack who, did not define the attack, did not define to attack ordinary people that will be on the road, did not define whether to attack the people that will be the forces, did not whether attack the shops, but it's a broad word that I would love that the law enforcement, when they begin to investigate, they investigate that statement. That's a statement that might cause us for trouble, and nobody should come back here. When you order attack, definitely there will have to be counter-attack. So it's important. But stay away from provocation. When they put, it's the first time I make this call. I usually don't make this call. I usually read the Old Testament, but I'll read the new one today. I usually read the Testament that say tooth for a tooth. I usually read the Testament that say eye for an eye. But this time, because we are dealing with ordinary community members, people that we believe they will be working with the law, I'm reading a New Testament. If they take this cheek, give this cheek. The first time I read that verse. But if they do that only within the law, and make sure that you protect them. So the call is made, the country must be comfortable, the country must be fun, all South Africans must feel free, they must do as the Constitution allows them to do, and you, your last line, they look at you and please give them hope, but also keep hope, and make, we must not allow the situation where people will lose life, where people will lose their property, because we are there for them. On behalf of the people of South Africa and the government of the Republic of South Africa, and this department and other departments that we work with, the defense, in the cluster, the Department of Justice, Correctional Service, and other departments, we want to be there and make sure that you are there for the people of South Africa. Therefore, you are directed to go and do your work. Be diligent, do it properly, and make sure that South Africans work closely with you. All structures, you yourself, be part of saving and protecting South Africans. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We may be seated. Thank you, Minister. Protocol dictates that the speech of the minister should neither be interpreted nor translated. Those are the marching orders. On that score, I will now invite our Provincial Commissioner, Lieutenant General N.S. Mkhwanazi, to do the acknowledgement. Over to you, General.
Minister of Police, General Cele, National Commissioner General Masemola, on behalf of the Provincial Joint Operational Intelligence Structure in KwaZulu-Natal, all law enforcement working together with the community support structures, which is Committee in Blue, and our counterparts and the communities that are helping out, which is private security. We heard you, Minister. We've got the instruction and we've got the marching orders. We shall comply. Thank you, sir.
Short and sweet. Thank you so very much.
Right, the Minister of Police, the General Bheki Cele, in KwaZulu-Natal, ahead, of course, of the national shutdown, which is planned for Monday, basically saying that anyone who breaks the law will go to jail if there's no space. They will stand, the law will be enforced, basically saying that if a peaceful protest then is not conducted on Monday, law enforcement will have to take action against those elements. All right, so the High Court in Johannesburg on the same story dismissing the Democratic Alliance's application to have the EFF's national shutdown declared unlawful. However, part of that ruling also states that the court is granting an interdict which declares the protesters may not shut down roads, schools and businesses. The court has further ordered the EFF to inform all of its members of the interdict by no later than 5 p.m. today. The South African Federation of Trade Unions on that same story says the protest centres on the demand for decent jobs to alleviate poverty.
Participating in the initial shutdown of the 20th of March with that understanding politically and ideologically. We are advancing our own demands, not that the demands of us are exclusive and are different and or in contradiction with the demands that are being pursued by all other formations who are participating on the 20th of March. We are participating because at the center of our own existence as the trade union movement, at the center of our own being as working class formations that are gathered here, is the issue of jobs, not just jobs, decent jobs that pay a living wage, that stand as a ladder in front of every worker to escape from poverty, but also to escape from inequalities.
The International Criminal Court judges have issued an arrest warrant for Russian President Vladimir Putin for alleged war crimes in Ukraine. The Hague-based court claims Putin is responsible for the unlawful deportation of children and their unlawful transfer from occupied areas of Ukraine to the Russian Federation. A second person, who is the Commissioner for the Children's Rights in the office of the President of Russian Federation, is charged with these same crimes.
SABC says the pre-trial chamber has found that there are reasonable grounds to believe that both President Putin and Ms. Belova bear responsibility for the war crime of unlawful deportation of children and that of their unlawful transfer from occupied areas of Ukraine to Russia.
The International Criminal Court has issued 2 warrants of arrest in the Ukraine situation. For Vladimir Putin, President of the Russian Federation, and for Maria Lvova-Belova, Commissioner of the Russian President for Children's Rights, for the alleged war crimes of deportation of children from Ukrainian occupied territories into the Russian Federation.
The ICC says there are reasonable grounds to believe that both accused bear individual criminal responsibility for the aforementioned crimes and for having committed the acts directly or jointly with others and for failure to exercise control over civilian and military subordinates who committed or allowed these acts.
This is an important moment in the process of justice before the ICC. The judges have reviewed